Hi, Democrats. Today is Wednesday, May 31st, and it's time for the Chair's Daily Live. Happy Wednesday. All righty. Can y'all feel it? Can y'all feel the anticipation for the things that are coming up? There are all kinds of things coming up. I've had to just turn off my TV, turn off all media, and focus on getting ready for convention. The thing that I'm talking about that's coming up is tonight at 8:30 Eastern time, 7:30 our time. They're supposed to have a signature on the debt ceiling agreement, the debt limit agreement. They're supposed to sign that today, and it's supposedly a bipartisan agreement, and we'll see what comes out of it. But what I want us to focus on as Oklahomans, as Americans, as people who are proud, I want us to focus on the things that this president has been able to accomplish, right? So there's 12.7 million jobs created in his time. That's a rate that's faster than it's been in the last 50 years. There's the CHIPS Act, which means that chips that will help run newfangled cars are made in America, not made elsewhere, so that when someone else's economy tanks, our economy can keep going. When the world is in a crazy economy, we don't have to be dependent on stuff being shipped to us either by plane, train, or water, because it is being made in America. He got the PACT Act passed, and that is the act that takes care of our veterans. There's just all kinds of things. And the president has been working with this debt limit package to make sure that the gains that he's made aren't being eroded by folks who just like being in the media, who just want to be on TV talking about how they stuck it to the president. They forget, just like I talked about yesterday, while they're sticking it to the president, they're sticking it to the American people. And so the president has been negotiating in good faith, and that's what we have to keep in mind, where Matt Gaetz has said on the record, on film, that he's holding our credit limit hostage. That's what we have to be talking about when we talk about the debt limit, because I'm telling you, every channel on my TV, they're talking about the debt limit and the debt ceiling. These are big times, and these are perilous times. It's not like this is the first time this conversation has come up. It's not even the first time in our lifetime or the first time in this decade. This time we've pushed it to the last moment. Secretary Yellen said that tomorrow is the day, that if we don't pass this today, tomorrow we start defaulting on loans. We can't let that happen. We need to stay strong. And when it passes, we need to be proud of the President of the United States and proud of the work that he has done, proud that we're part of the party who is on the right side. Now, on local news, how we bring that back locally, from their press, Congressman Tom Cole, CD4, and Congresswoman Stephanie Bice of CD5 have said that they are going to sign, that they agree with this bill and that they're going to sign it. Let's see what happens at 8:30 Eastern time. Meanwhile, Joshua King, freshman congressman from Congressional District 2, which is our eastern border, said that he's a no, because he's thrown himself in league with Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene and that group of folks who just want to hold it hostage because they are trying to find their 15 minutes of fame. And we haven't heard from my Congressman, Kevin Hern, or Congressman Frank Lucas. We haven't been able to find where they are with it, but I guess we'll see tonight at 7:30 our time. That's the big news. And that's a big deal, because it will affect us. If we default on our credit as a nation, it will make it more expensive for us to buy anything, and that will bring it right on home to us. It will make it more expensive to fill up your car. It will make it more expensive to buy a car. These things aren't just things that are happening in Washington, D.C. These are things that will affect us here at home, which brings me back to what I always talk about. You can't just vote once. You have to vote every time the precinct is open. Every election affects you at home, whether you know it or not. Every election affects you at home. So you got to show up every time the precinct is open. And for the folks who are saying, I don't know when the elections are. They don't talk about it on TV. And that's true. They used to do PSAs where they talked about the elections as they were coming up, where they told you when the elections were, when they told you when early voting was, and all that kind of stuff. And now they're so afraid to talk about politics unless it's juicy that they mention it like right between commercials. But the best way to know when the next election is coming up is to go out to the Oklahoma State Election Board, go to the voter portal, put in your name, and request your absentee ballot. That way you don't have to like pay attention like I do, because it will be mailed to your house 30 days in advance of the election. If you do it now, it'll be mailed to your house 30 days in advance of the election. You have time to do your research and vote at your leisure. You can then mail it in, vote early in person, or you can vote on the day of. But I strongly encourage everyone to sign up for the voter portal. Go out and request your absentee ballot. It's the Oklahoma State Election Board. Click on OK Voter Portal, put in your name and birthday. Once you do that, it pulls up all your voting history, where you vote, all your districts. And then there's little check boxes. And, do I want to change my address? And do I want to request my absentee ballot? Every January, I go out and I request my absentee ballots for the rest of the year. And that way I don't have to keep up with them, but I do. And they get mailed to my house. I can do research. If there's something that I missed, I wasn't sure it was going to be on the ballot. And it's usually like ballot initiatives or state bonds or those kinds of things. They're there written in lawyerese, but I have enough time to read it, understand it, do my research, and then I vote intelligently. That's what we have to do and what we have to continue to do. So there was a little teaser. I talked about the debt limit because that is a big thing. That is a big national thing. That is a thing that will affect us tomorrow, next week, next month, for the rest of the year. And so it's important to talk about national issues sometime. Now, there absolutely is something big coming up in our state, in our party this weekend. This weekend, it's coming. The clock is ticking. This weekend is the Oklahoma State Democratic Party convention. It is our convention. It starts Friday night, 6:30 to 7:30 at the Fulton Street Books, 210 West Easton in Tulsa, right outside, just north of downtown. Fulton Street Books is hosting David Pepper, who is a renowned author on Democratic politics, particularly in red states. He is doing a soft launch of his brand new book, Saving Democracy. That's a book that we all need to be reading. I haven't read it, but I read the prelude where he outlined kind of what's happening. He outlined the crisis that we were in, and Saving Democracy is a to-do guide. It is a take this book and do these things. That's how you go from a red state to a light red state to a light purple state and finally a blue state. He's giving us a guidebook, and he will be here in Tulsa talking about it, answering questions. That's at the Fulton Street Books Friday night, 6:30 to 7:30. Come join him. And then on Saturday, he has agreed graciously to speak at 2 of our breakout events. We're having one for rural networking and one for county chairs networking. A good time for us all to talk, but a good time for us to learn how to organize, learn new ways to organize from different folks. So we're having all kinds of breakout sessions: African American Federation, the Women's Federation, Latin Federation, the Oh Happy Federation, Native American Federation. We're having all these breakout groups, great ways to get into the party. Great, Disability Federation, Stonewall Federation. I don't want to leave anybody out. Veterans, I don't want to leave anybody out. Great way to get in, commune with folks who have hopefully some shared experiences as a way to come into the party. You don't have to be a delegate to attend this part of convention. You can just come and partake of the different pieces that interest you. I hope you'll come. It's free and open to the public. It's at the Tulsa Convention Center. This Saturday from 10 to 3 are the breakout sessions. Then we're also having a couple of training sessions on how to identify candidates to run for office. And then once you identify them, how to help them make a plan. That's what we need to go as we go into this next election year. Come, partake of the training, partake of the breakout sessions. And then by then, hopefully you're worked up an appetite and you can join us at the Carl Albert Gala and dinner, where we'll be celebrating notable Oklahoma Democrats. And our keynote speaker is Beto O'Rourke, former congressman from Texas, as if I have to tell you who he is. That is Saturday night. The Tulsa County Democratic Party is hosting a hospitality suite. Go by, a welcome to Tulsa hospitality suite. Go by, meet the leaders of the Tulsa County Democratic Party, have a drink, fellowship. The Veterans Federation is also having a hospitality suite. Both of those will be at the DoubleTree. Another, come, talk to the veterans, meet the veterans, partake of a little spirit. That is before the Carl Albert and after Carl Albert. And Young Dems, the Young Democrats of Oklahoma, are hosting a sneaker ball, Carl Albert After Dark Sneaker Ball. Get your fancy kicks out and come and join the Young Dems as they party to the wee hours. And then get up early Sunday morning. At 10 a.m., we are starting our convention, where we're starting the business part of our convention, where we update our constitution and bylaws, which are our rules of our party, where we update our platform, and where we elect leaders. That happens on Sunday. It's a jam-packed weekend. We're having speakers from all over the nation talk about topics that will help us as we organize going into this next election year. I hope you'll join us. You don't have to be a delegate to come to convention and be a witness. Observe, figure out what goes on. You just have to be a delegate to vote. I hope to see as many of you as I possibly can. This is a great weekend. Let's forget the drama. Let's decide where we want to go for the next 2 years. I hope you'll join me. See you this weekend in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But before that, I will be back here tomorrow at 4:15. You guys have a great evening.